where
Mm-hmm.
all cultures came together and
Yeah.
built this tower, and God got mad and sent everybody to the four corners of the earth. He did not want people speaking the same language. He
Well,
wanted different cultures.
that's a nice story. The
And
Bible's full of stories, and I really don't think you can actually put into today's society what the Bible has talked about. For example, we know for a fact there was never a world flood that wiped out.
I would argue with you
What's
on
your
that.
proof? What's your proof? Give me your proof.
Well, we've got all kinds of areas by that Mediterranean in southern Europe and northern Africa and the Middle East that appear to have land that appears to be flooded.
Now,
I
yeah,
mean, if you
all
watch
right.
the Discovery,
I agree there are some parts that show there was a rise in the water, but there's no proof whatsoever that the entire world was covered in water. It's impossible for Noah in the Middle East to have had polar bears truck across the oceans to go into this little ark. If you look at the size of the ark compared to the number of animals on this planet and everything else that was supposed to be 2 by 2, the math doesn't work. Plus, if you were to take the entire surface of the world, cover it in water, where would the water go? Where would it evaporate? Wouldn't there be?
well, they say
wouldn't there be
it recedes after.
Wouldn't there be global proof of this flood, of which there's not?
Oh, I don't know. They can't. There's too many people who can't figure out if there's global warming now, and we've got technology up the yin-yang, let alone thousands of years ago. They can't. There's no way they could tell. When you get down to it, historians really don't know that much about what happened thousands of years ago.
Exactly,
So,
and neither do Bible
That's
experts.
true.
So how do we know?
That's why
How do we know
it's a question of faith.
All right. So
Well,
why don't we
again,
take the same faith that so many people have in the Bible and apply it to the human race and say, you know what? Maybe if we were to have a global government, things would work a hell of a lot better.
Well, again, if you're a Christian, especially in Daniel and Revelation, they talk about when the world becomes one, there's a leader who they call the Antichrist, and that kicks off the tribulation, which is a big fear among Christians. They don't want one world.
No, so
They believe
but don't the
that-
Christians to have one leader themselves? It's called God. So what's the difference between the rest of the population, of which Christianity is not the major religion in the world, by the way? So so big deal. So get on board with the plan. Let's go forward. Let's live together. Let's solve the problems of the world. And if you're going to hold on to the Bible as a reason why we shouldn't, man, I think it's time that we should look at the fact that maybe today's society has outgrown religion. Is there a need for religion? Or does religion cause more problems than anything else?
Rob, come on. Turn on the news. If you think that religion isn't an issue, then you must not be paying attention to Hamas and Israel duking it out right now. I mean, religion is always going to be a factor. The problem with religion
this is what I'm saying.
you've
Get rid of religion, period. Maybe it will be a better world. Maybe the problems in the world today are because of all the different religions. And because my backyard is greener than yours, my God is stronger than yours, my rules are better than yours. Maybe this is the problem. And if we got rid of all this, it would be a better world.
Well, I would disagree with you, because in every religion there's this sense that, if you do good, you're going to get rewarded when you die.
Yeah.
And if you take away the whole afterlife reward of everything, then why should you contribute to a charity? Then why should you help out your neighbor? Then why should you not steal something that's easy to steal, or sleep around on your husband or wife, or kill someone who's in your way? I mean, there's no set rules for behavior. And
Sure
I mean,
there
some
are.
people argue that that's all religion is. It's a way to for people to obey. But I believe that it's much, much more than that.
I'm going to tell you something. The rules of religion don't apply today. It's the rules that society put forth. It's the rules that society enforces. And it's the compassion that society has for society that is going to see this world through. Because no matter what you do, if you count on religion, it'll give you some feelings of self-worth. But when push comes to shove, I'd rather have an army behind me than holding a book that makes promises that just aren't kept.
Well, let me ask you this.
Sure.
You're a paranormal radio host, correct?
No, I'm a journalist. I'm a broadcaster.
Okay, I'm sorry. Have you ever had, and I know you've had a ton of guests.
Sure.
Have you ever had a guest or guests that have died on an operating table and either met some flames or rose up?
I've never had the experience of having a guest on that says they've had a negative out-of-body experience or near-death experience. Never had a negative. A lot of people have come on and they've talked about how they felt good leaving the body, how they didn't want to come back, how they met a deity at the end of the tunnel, and every religion has a different deity at the end of that tunnel. You know, if you're talking to someone who's a Buddhist, they don't see Jesus at the end of the tunnel. If you talk to somebody who is a Muslim, they don't see Jesus at the end of the tunnel. They see people or entities or spirits, whatever you want to call them, that relate to their own beliefs. And when you have the atheist on, who has had a near-death experience, they see somebody from their past, one of their loved ones, at the end of the tunnel. So my experience is that a near-death experience is a personal event. It does not always have something to do with a religious icon or a religious connotation.
Well, okay, I'll give you that. But I mean, on the other side of the coin, there are people who have burned in flames, and they get out of their operating, or they come out of their operation or out of their coma or whatever set them off in the first place to unconsciousness, and they change their life because they're so afraid of, not living a good life. So, I mean, how do you explain that? Is that, again, the subconscious? They feel guilty about something?
I agree. It could be the subconscious, but like I said, I've never had a guest on the show with over 3,800 interviews under my belt who have come back from having a near-death experience where they've gone to hell or they've burned or suffered any negative effects. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as we continue right here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My name is Rob McConnell. Don't go away. My name is Rob McConnell, and I would like to tell you about a very special lady that I have the pleasure of knowing, and that's Miss Sylvia Anthony. Sylvia Anthony believes the golden years are a time to gear up and get busy, not relax and take it easy. She has faced many hardships in her 84 years, but they have made her stronger and more determined. As founder and president of Sylvia's Haven, a shelter for women and their children near Boston, Sylvia has helped transform over 1,086 lives in the past 27 years, not only with housing, but also providing direction as to where they can go to develop the earning skills they want and need to live free from difficult domestic situations. Sylvia's Haven is everything to Sylvia Anthony, even calling it her magnificent obsession. Women who qualify for the program at Sylvia's Haven receive assistance via guidance counselors to find the appropriate job opportunity. Women and their children may remain at the housing for up to 2 years. At the end of this time, or sooner, a woman who is successfully employed and has an apartment or home may leave Sylvia's Haven to begin a new and independent life. Now this is where you come in to help make Sylvia's dream into a reality. Sylvia's dream is to have a Sylvia's Haven in every state to help as many women and their children as she can, and to help this dream come true. A crowdfunding site has been established which can be accessed at www.sylviasdream.org. Now that's www.sylviasdream.org. With your financial help and support, Sylvia Anthony will continue to help those in their time of need, not only in the Boston area, but with her dream of having a Sylvia's Haven in every state of the United States. Your help is needed to make Sylvia's dream come true. Please visit and give at www.sylviasdream.org. Once again, www.sylviasdream.org. And remember, the only difference between a dream and reality is just doing it. We need your help to make Sylvia's dream come true. Visit www.sylviasdream.org. Once again, www.sylviasdream.org. For the X Zone Radio TV show and the X Chronicles newspaper, I am Rob McConnell. Now you can dial in to listen to the X Zone Radio Show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Dina Rae is my guest this hour, X Zone Nation. www.dinarae.co. That's DINARAE.co. Dina, you've got a brand new book out. It's entitled Big Pharma, Big Agri, and Big Conspiracy. What's it about?
Well, it's about the pharmaceutical and agricultural industries and how they're just getting out of hand. It's not just a United States, Canadian, North American type of monopoly where they're expanding on a global level, and considering that they're very important industries that we rely on. I believe that they're just getting out of control.
A lot of companies get out of control. Why are you targeting these three?
Well, Big Agra would probably Monsanto. There are other companies. There's a couple of them. There's Monsanto, Syngenta, Dow, DuPont. Monsanto is probably the biggest one. And I guess I wouldn't say I'm targeting them, but they're so corrupt right now. I think people need to be aware of what's going on with their food. They've got all kinds of legislation passed from people that they contribute to their campaigns, etc. Most recently, we've got the Monsanto Act of 2013, which Obama signed into law, which basically grants them immunity. So if somebody eats their GMO food and they can prove that person died of cancer or died of something that's related to the GMO food, well, then Monsanto can't be sued. They're immune. So we've got that, and they're expanding on a global level where they're just really taking advantage of third world countries, particularly India. And I don't know if the food